If there was a car whose generation had a lot to prove, it has to be the second generation of the Toyota Fielder. This is the middle child in terms of Toyota Fielders, with its production years starting from 2006 up to 2012. Hello good people, welcome to Keep Left, your car guide for all things cars and all things automotive. As always, my name is Kev, the host who knows most about cars, and today we have the second generation of the Toyota Fielder. So here's the thing, the second generation of the Toyota Fielder had a lot to prove, because the first generation, which spanned from 2000 to 2005, 2006 thereabout, or earlier than that, did everything. It laid the groundwork, the benchmark was good, and it was a good car. So the question was, why did Toyota replace the first generation with this generation? And if you when we do more review of this car, you'll come to see that in this generation, Toyota weren't sure the direction they wanted to go. Was it hybrid? Was it diesel? Was it CVT transmissions? That's what this particular video is going to go into looking into. But ideally, Toyota have never gone wrong. There are few instances where you see Toyota and you wonder what was going on in their minds. But this is not that case. This is actually a good car, and all round it is a utilitarian car. But how much more better is it than the first generation of the Toyota Fielder? From a styling perspective, there isn't much that was done to this car to take it away from the other car. It's only that it's a bit boxier. The taillights are a bit more aggressive in their stance as opposed to what you have in the first generation. In fact, there's an inside joke where what happened to the generation of matakwa boot. This generation doesn't have matakwa boot. In terms of styling, it is quite Toyota have always been sensible in terms of how their cars look. They don't do aggressive lines and all that. I think they know who they are, so they don't need to prove anything. So the car looks simple from any angle that you might look at it. The only thing that you can probably note is this spoiler, which just goes into finish out the car from the back. From what you will see from the previous generation, it was almost a straight turn off from the top. This has a simpler curve into the back area of the car, but ideally it maintains the same station wagon sort of a view in how it looks. In terms of interior, there is nothing to write about. It's a very simple interior, and that's just goes by Toyota ethos. Easy to maintain, easy to run. It has to be a utilitarian car. So in terms of dashboards, they maintain this almost, it's not even a plastic finish. It has a spongy finish on top of it, which is reminiscent of cars of this generation in particular. And then this is now plastic, easy to maintain. In my opinion, it's a dull interior, but that's the idea. You don't want it to be flashy, and then you have problems of maintaining it. The seats are cloth seats, which is not bad too. The steering is simple as it is. No need for any form of steering wheel buttons and controls for this. So it's very simple at that. You have your common compartments. On the doors you'll have compartments. That is because this the further two compartments which you can consider as cup holders. You'll have your center compartment, and finally you get two more compartments here, which is different. In the next generation of the Toyota Fielder, you only get one compartment here because the dashboard is much more reduced, and it goes to just tell you how much more space efficient the next generation is. Aside from that, you have these side areas for probably you can put some change or something in terms of usage of this car. The AC system is centralized, albeit it's not as direct as the others, where you just have knobs, but it's easy to understand. It's different. That's the whole idea. Space wise, in terms of these cars, they are best in terms of space in their category of station wagons. You get a lot of room space both on top and leg room, so this is perfect for any size of a person. You're well sorted, and the story is the same at the back. The space here is good too, and remember, I haven't moved the seat from where it was when I was in the front seats, so you have more than enough space both on top. I like the fact that the floor is The floor is almost flat. The next generation, it's quite flatter. And this is aided by the fact that the drivetrain that you have in Toyota Fielders is you just have two simple drivetrains. One, front-wheel drive, and the second type of drivetrain is four-wheel drive. So in this particular car, we have a front-wheel drive car. So there is no transmission tunnel. So you can comfortably sit here, which is quite good. The other thing that you'll notice is this armrest. Now, the difference between this and the next generation is the cup holders are on this spot. But in the next generation of the Toyota Fielder, the armrest doesn't have cup holders. The cup holders are maintained on the dockers. So that's the difference between the back section. The other thing is, I'm surprised, but in this generation of car, they had introduced ISOFIX so that you can mount a car seat. The toddler car seats. Yes. Aside from that, the space is good, and that's what you look out for. What I'm not a fan of is this almost clothish roofing material, because it becomes prone, and especially in this particular color, the white color, they become dirty too quickly. So I'm not the hugest fan, but with proper maintenance, you can always have this sparkling clean. In the boot area, the space is good. Again, this happens to be one of the cars with the largest boot capacity in this category of station wagons. I'm always a huge fan of these switches here that help you to illuminate the boot area, and this lever that just helps your seats to lie flat. You get further compartments under the boot to put all your materials. This is maintained even in the next generation, and then under that, this car at least comes with a spare wheel, as opposed to the next generation of the Toyota Fielder. What we buy Toyota Fielders for is for their utilitarian nature, and as such, the back seats are able to fold flat, and you're able to utilize the capacity of the car. This is where people get it wrong. Now, by the mere fact that this is a station wagon, it doesn't mean it's a workhorse. These cars utilize spring and shock type of setup, as opposed to leaf springs, and as such, the load capacity is not very high, but you can get away with that depending on what you're carrying. If it is too much, you are better off buying something like the Pro Box, which again is a car suited to that type of work. So for this one, it is sensible usage in terms of your daily runs, and you can carry a bit of luggage in these cars. But aside from that, they're proper daily cars. You can never go wrong with the Toyota Fielder. Under the bonnet of the second generation of the Toyota Fielder, we have a very familiar engine. This engine features in most of Toyota cars. In fact, if you haven't watched my video on the Toyota Run-X, I talk to a great extent about this particular engine, which is the 1NZ-FE. The 1NZ-FE is legendary, by the way. That engine is durable, fuel efficient. It doesn't break down. It's a good engine. No wonder Toyota Fielder and the Axios have stuck with this engine up to the current generation, which is the third generation. In fact, I have a video coming up on the third generation of the Toyota Fielder, and this is what it has to offer. This particular car is the reason why we have Toyota Tax. This particular car is TD, top dog. This particular car is why Toyota are not relenting in the space of station wagons. Welcome to the third generation of the Toyota Fielder. Perfect. So back to the this particular model is the 2010 Toyota Fielder, and we have the 1NZ-FE, legendary engine. So the thing is, this is where when I was looking at Toyota Fielder, and especially the second generation, I realized it is either Toyota didn't know what they were doing, or they were trying out so many things. In this particular generation of cars, if you don't count the 1NZ-FE, there are 13 more different combinations of engines. But ideally, the one to have is this 1NZ-FE. It will never fail you. It basically features a four-cylinder engine with VVTi technology. Perfect in its day. In terms of gearboxes, Toyota did the same things. They have 6 more different iterations of gearboxes, but the one to look out for is the 6-speed automatic. There are 5-speed manual gearboxes, 4-speed ECT gearbox, and others, which I think Toyota were experimenting at this case, and a further CVT gearbox. Fuel economy. So this car doesn't have an on and off switch in terms of eco drive. So eco drive will always stay on for the usage of this car. But going by the 1NZ FE, which is a very economical engine, again, you will average around 15 to 16 kilometers per liter. Again, if you have a lead foot, don't blame me for having wrong statistics. A car's fuel consumption is as good as the owner. So for the practical part, this will do right about 14 kilometers to the liter. Town running and highway running, you can go upwards of 18 kilometers to the liter, which is quite efficient for this category of cars. The simple fact is this: Toyota Fielder is one of the most common cars. In fact, Toyota Fielders outnumber human beings in the ratio of 2:1. For every one individual, there are 2 Toyota Fielders. That's how this car is liked by Kenyans and worldwide, because it's very easy to use. The ride is smooth. The cars do what you need them to do. Basically, this car is a knife. If you want to stab someone with it, it will stab, and to a good extent. If you want to cut something, it will cut. That's what a Fielder is. It does what it's supposed to do 100% of the time, and that's why people like them. The only downside that I see about Fielders, with the amount of fame that they have and how common they are prone to a lot of theft. They are prone to a lot of duplication of parts and having fake parts in the market. They are prone to a lot of misuse, because there is nowhere where you can go and you lack servicing for these particular cars. But aside from that, they are good cars. They are good cars. Price-wise, when you want to buy this particular generation of the Toyota Fielder, prices with the earlier models, 2006, thereabout, you will have to cough up around 650 to the later models of 2012, anything to do with just around 1.1 million, 1.2 million thereabout to get the later models. But that's Toyota ethos. They will always hold on to their prices very well, and they are good to have as a daily car. So this is what I don't understand about the second generation of the Toyota Fielder is with the different iterations of engines and gearboxes, it feels almost like Toyota were changing their design team every other 2 weeks, because in a span of 6 years, you equally have the same number of engine combinations and gearboxes with the years. It's like every other year they would come up with a new engine to try. Maybe it is why they got it right in the third generation, but not that this generation was, if the combination that I would encourage you to get if you're looking for a Toyota Fielder, ideally go for 1NZ FE. Don't try and do the 2AZ or the 2ZRs, which will probably do you 1,800 cc's. Not that they are bad, but this is the combination that works. It's tried and proven, even in the previous generations of the Toyota Fielders. The 1NZ works perfectly and works 100% of the time. So it's not particularly a sad day when you get the 1NZ FE like in this particular car. But you gotta wonder why spoil a working thing, Toyota. But it is well. Toyota know best. Thank you so much for watching this episode on the second generation of the Toyota Fielder. If you've liked it, give it a huge thumbs up. If you want to see future episodes when they come out, you can ring on the bell icon so that you get notification. Furthermore, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe. And until next time, it is peace.